Hey guys, I am so excited because today, my friend and co-host of Smart Money Happy Hour and The Ramsey Show, and it says one of my best friends. Are we best friends, George?
I like someone on the team decided, you know what, Rachel? I think they're on BFF
they are
level.
BFF level. Is here. George Campbell, thanks for being here.
It's an honor to be on your side of the set. Because fun fact, Smart Money Happy Hour films right on that side of the set.
Right there, yes. And we switcheroo on this side.
This feels...
To be in Rachel's world.
This is a much more family-friendly side. I will say that.
Do you feel like you're in your living room?
I do. It's a very cozy couch.
Just chatting it up. That's what
I do miss the armrests from Smart Money Happy Hour. I will say that.
The chairs.
Yeah.
Armrests are fantastic.
And I don't have as much lumbar support. You got.
There's a lot of sitting up in this couch.
But it's fun.
The posture is key. Well, George, something exciting is happening in your life.
What's that?
Multiple things. First and foremost, we'll just say, because you're here, talking about your new book, Breaking Free from Broke.
I'm so excited about it. I actually brought it with me, Rachel.
Did you?
The real one right
there
here.
It is.
Look how bright. It's like Tennessee Vols. Let's go.
I know. Deloney and I were on the Ramsey Show talking about it. You're welcome.
It's so kind.
And we were like, look at George, just pushing away the lies.
Pushing back against the system, Rachel.
Push back against the lies of the industry.
It's the only way. All of the arm strength I have was used to break free from the system.
So good. Well, you talk about in here how you became a net worth millionaire in just 10 years without getting tricked by the system. And I just said just 10 years, like 10 years, like it's a decade, right? So it takes some time. It's not quick.
It's an eternity for some of the youngsters watching out there.
Yes, I know. So we're going to talk about that because the longevity is important and not just this get rich quick stuff, which you talk about in your book too.
Absolutely.
But again, you have so many resources, George. You've done such a great job tackling this topic of money that can be really complicated, really intimidating, and you do it in such a great way. And you break down exactly how to be wise with your money, even if you were never taught some of these basics, and you do it again in the George way, which we just appreciate.
So kind. Thank you.
So this book really is what? For millennials, Gen Z, like when you were thinking about the audience as you were writing it, who were you picturing?
I was picturing me kind of graduating from college, entering adulthood into my big boy job, feeling frustrated and anxious and cynical toward adulthood. Because I did everything that everyone told me to do. Go to school, get good grades, go to the college of your dreams and get the degree. What I didn't realize that when you use Sally Mae's Monopoly money to fund it, and you start getting trapped in all of the cycle of credit scores and credit cards, and I need the car loan because I'm a big boy now, and I should get a house because renting is a sin. All of those feelings that we have entering adulthood, I wanted to just go, this is a much more peaceful way to do it, where you can break free from that toxic money culture and all of the myths that we believe growing up.
Yeah, and it is amazing because I'm like, there are so many just subtle messages like that. Like, just go to your dream school. If you get a college degree, you're going to be fine, right? It's all these like things that you're hearing from good intentions people, whether
well-meaning,
it's parents or teachers or whoever, society, and you listen to it, and then as you experience it, you think, this is not at all what I expected. Yes, exactly. Okay, so there are hundreds of kind of like finance books out in the space, and here at Ramsey, like we write about this
You've written many of them that are great.
We just write, about money. So what would you say this one is different?
Well, number one, my perspective coming from, having immigrant parents and growing up in a very average middle-class household and going into debt, student loan debt and credit card debt, falling for these traps, and then sort of deprogramming as I went through Financial Peace University and started working here. So that perspective alone, but I've done some more investigative research at Ramsey through podcasts like Borrowed Future and The Fine Print, and I love unpacking exactly why these companies are so scummy, why these industries are designed to keep you broke. So that's the first 2/3 of the book, and that's something we've never done here at Ramsey.
Yeah.
Is really gotten to every objection, all of the stats, the research, exactly how the credit cards make their money, how to live life without a credit score in so much detail, because I wanted you to walk away knowing exactly what to do, on top of believing that you could do it.
Yes.
So that's the first 2/3. And the last third is me, my version of the Ramsey plan, showing people how budgeting is freedom and how margin is breathing room and spending is self-control and wealth is patience and generosity is joy. All of that with some real tactical steps so that you walk away with a little smile on your face, ready to kind of buck this system and build wealth on your terms.
Yeah, that's what I appreciate about you, though, is you get into the details of all of this. Because we can say, like, stay out of credit card debt. And you're like, okay, well, I'm going to take that one avenue and dive like 100 levels down on what does that mean? And not just how to do it, like you said, but what did the credit card industries, what is it about? Like, what are their marketing
Who's really
schemes?
paying for the rewards?
Like, what's really going on in that one sector of the finance space? And so you do such a great job.
I have a friend, Rachel, he's obsessed with credit cards. And I love him. We like to hang out and argue. But I had him read this chapter and he said, this is the most compelling argument I've ever seen
No way, George.
against using credit cards. And it was such an honor. I was like, that was my hope. Is if I can
Yes.
get the people who love the credit cards to be like, this guy's got a point here.
Yes.
We're onto something. And
Oh,
I do it all with a lot of humor and empathy.
Yes.
There's a lot of pop culture and music references. So it feels like Smart Money Happy Hour and my YouTube channel where there's a lot of snark and humor to keep it conversational.
Keep it enjoyable.
Doesn't get
yes.
too heavy.
For sure. Well, you talk about one of the chapters, breaking free of the system. That's kind of what we're talking about here. But again, unpack that because the system, it is so much bigger than what we think. And we kind of just, I feel like unintentionally, you kind of just fall into it and kind of live and believing the messages they say and living the direction that they're taking you versus saying, okay, stop. Why are they doing this? Where am I the pawn in their game? And what can I do to actually better myself and not them?
Well, Rachel, I know you love a good conspiracy theory. And this is
Maybe I do.
This is my conspiracy theory, is that this entire system is designed to keep us broke. And it's all very intentional. And they're all in cahoots.
But you really believe it.
The credit scores and the credit card companies and the credit bureaus, everyone's in on it because they're all making money off of us.
Yeah, and if you stay broke, you're going to keep going back to them and they're going to make more and more money off of
and you become this rat in the maze. And so, in this breaking free from the system, this is chapter 9. So I've unpacked the entire system: credit scores, credit cards, student loans, auto loans, mortgage traps, investing traps, marketing and consumerism. And now we get to the point where we're shifting of like, too much now. And so this breaking free from the system is, I make the analogy of The Matrix, the movie, where it's blue pill or red pill. And one is going to take you out of the matrix so you can see the simulation for what it really is. And so that's my encouragement to people, is to wake up and recognize that this money game is a giant simulation and is not remotely serving your best life.
Yep.
So it's time to break free from that money matrix and reclaim what you've been robbed of. And people don't have options and peace and margin and joy in today's world.
That's right.
They're telling us on social media and calling the Ramsey Show, they're drowning in debt payments. They're feeling the pain of inflation and the housing market's out of control. And I just wanted to give people hope because we're getting real cynical as a culture. And cynicism is a choice and you can make it, but it's the easy choice.
Yep.
It's harder to wake up and go, fine, I'll do the budget. Fine, we'll get out of debt for the next 2 years. Those are hard choices, but it's so worth it on the other side.
Yeah, and I love that picture of the system though, because I'm like, it is funny. I'm like, when you graduate from high school or college and you really become an adult, you're like, oh, I'm out of what my parents, are telling me what to do.
Do what I want.
I can do what I want, right? And then you fall into this mindset still of like, oh, who's gonna take care of me and who's in charge and I'm going to follow what they say, right? And you could say the government, the financial industry, like you can put all these things, right, though, into place and people look to those people or those systems to say, hey, I want to live my life. How should I do it? And you still tell me what to do, right? And it's kind of like this like breaking of everything of like, your parents aren't telling you what to do. So why should a bank tell you what to do? Like truly owning your own story and your own life and your own decisions where you're like, no, I'm the boss and I'm telling everyone else what to do, right? I mean, it feels powerful.
Yeah, well, that's
versus
you do
being
feel
like
kind
that
of
second
invincible.
level.
You feel invincible when you realize that it's in my control now. It's not up to the lender or the government to save the day.
Yeah.
And so it's a very empowering feeling. And most people have lost that hope, truthfully. They've just resigned to the fact that I'm going to always have these payments in my life. This is just the way it goes. And they just become Eeyores. And so I want people to break free from that and have more joy than ever before and more confidence for their financial future.
Yeah, and autonomy and all of it. I love it so much. Okay, so there's so many like gimmicky, get rich quick, Instagram reel, like, and some of these videos, George, and I do this for a living. I literally will think for like a hot second, wait, do they know something? Do they know something I don't know? Wait. What is this? What is this? Use your life insurance when you're alive. And that's what rich people do. Yes, I know. But you sit there and you watch it. And then I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, now I see what they're doing. But it is so easy to get sucked in because it feels like a get rich quick thing, right? And get rich quick, I feel like that's saying, I don't know how many people use that in day-to-day language.
Sure. But that's at the heart of it.
The idea is that it's easy.
They don't want to wait 20 years.
Oh my gosh, I just have to sign up for this one policy and do this. And
buy this course.
And then I get like all of this. Oh, that's the missing piece. Like it feels like there's this missing piece. And if I can find it, everything's going to be easier, right? So these people that have all of these gimmicky ideas about money, They are persuasive. So
Oh, yeah.
what do you say to that?
So I have a whole chapter in the book on investing traps. And Rachel, it just kept going. I was like, oh gosh, so what about we have to talk about this?
Oh, no.
So I talk about crypto and NFTs and permanent life insurance. And I break down all the different types of whole life and single stocks and gambling, but then there's sports betting and there's investing apps and micro investing. And what about precious metals like gold? That's made a comeback, and leveraged real estate. And so I break it all down with short, simple paragraphs with my hot take. So I kind of give you a little, just like, here's the one sentence,
that's fun.
spicy tweet about this that's trapped in your brain. So I've said cryptocurrency is Mary Kay for young men. Yes. And I break down why that is. I'm like, here's all the analogies and the Venn diagram of how they all cross over. So it's a really fun take, but it helps you walk away going, oh, I can just be confident in my investing strategy, even though there's all this noise over here about these 17 other things.
Right.
Because there's so many distractions out there, and building wealth is so simple if you just be the tortoise instead of the hare chasing after the next thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said this at the beginning of the episode today, but it is so powerful because you've walked this. Like it took 10 years. And again, people want it faster than even that. But it's also impressive on the other side because you talk to people that have been adults for 30, 40 years and they're negative net worth, right?
Yes.
So while 10 years can seem really short to some of you or really long to others, kind of talk me through like what was challenging about that time. And now that you're on the other side of it and you're actually writing about it and writing a book about it, like what about that emboldens you where you're just like, I have to get this out, this message?
Well, there's a piece of it. The hardest piece for me is that paradigm shift where you're willing to take in new information that is perpendicular to everything you were told and believe and maybe your personal experience.
That's scary, right?
Yeah, it's jarring.
Yeah.
I mean, when you hear some of the stuff, you're offended when you tell people you should live life without a credit score because it's a waste of time and you can cut up the card and use your debit card. It's triggering emotionally. So that's the hardest part. If you can make that shift and be willing to follow a different plan because your plan hasn't been working, that was the hardest part for me. The other hardest part was, debt payoff is exciting, but it's also grueling. The sacrifices that we made, both in baby step 2, paying off my own consumer debt when I was single, and baby step 6, when my wife and I were paying off the house, there's a lot of sacrifices. And your friends are going, what, you can't go out with that? No, we're doing a no spend month. So we're trying to save money, or we're not going to go on that trip to Europe. And there's a lot of that, FOMO and YOLO, and we still enjoyed our life. And so I want to make it clear to people that while you're making these sacrifices, we still had a great time. We still, we were eating out and we went on the vacation, but there was some parameters we had to put around things because we had an aggressive goal to be totally debt-free in our early 30s, no house payment or anything.
Yep.
And now the things we get to do and the stuff we can have and the experiences and the way we can give is incredible for the rest of our lives.
Right.
And so, but that short-term sacrifice looks weird to the culture. And it's something you just have to go, this is for a season.
Yes.
On the other side, we're going to have so much freedom, so much margin.
So good. George, amazing.
Thank you.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad you wrote this book. So as we close, I just want to ask one last thing. What is like the one part that you feel like this is the game changer? Like this is my favorite part of the book. Like what's that one thing that you're like, people need to know this?
Aside from the credit card chapter, which I worked really hard on, I go through 8 personality archetypes of like the things we've heard, Rachel. I'd never pay a dime in interest. And so there's like the rewards redeemer and the perfect spender and the world traveler, like all the reasons.
Yes,
that one was personally fun
so good.
To just hit all those objections with humor. But I do think in the spending and self-control chapter, coming out after the marketing and consumerism, I talk about the smart spender plan, a 5-question filter you can use to make smarter spending decisions. And to me, it's so tactical because you can use those 5 questions every single day.
And what are they?
It's S for self-awareness. Am I buying this? This is going to add value to my life. M is for the motive. Am I buying this for the right reason?
Okay, yep.
A for affordability. Do I have this in the budget? Can I pay for this in full in cash? R for research. Is this the best option, retailer, and price?
Okay.
Rachel's still working on this one.
Yeah, it's not really
I help Rachel.
It's not my spiritual gift to research.
I see it. I want it.
I just see it and it's fine.
There you go.
I'm smart.
Smart.
Take the R out.
And then the T is for timing. Is now the time to buy it? So think about opportunity cost. Can I wait till next year, until Black Friday? And so those 5 questions you can do in your mind really quickly, but it's helped me personally to avoid the impulse purchases or the purchases I felt pressured to do. And I didn't do the research. Let me just take a pause. Let me sleep on it. Let me wait till tomorrow. Yeah, we can wait till next year. All of that has helped me build wealth faster because I'm not distracted by impulse spending.
So good. George, love it.
Thank
Here,
you.
Get this little guy out here.
There it is.
Okay,
I'm so
Breaking Free
excited
from
about
Broke.
it.
Where can everyone buy it?
You can get it at RamseySolutions.com/store. And if you're watching this before January 16th, you can get all of the bonuses for free, including the audiobook, the ebook, a free talk I did called Show Me the Money. We also have a live online event happening. And on top of that, whether you buy it before or after, as my gift to the readers, you get 3 months of Every Dollar Premium for free.
Nice.
For new users only. So it's a great way to actually put this plan into practice through something Rachel loves, which is budgeting with Every Dollar. And it's a great thing to get for that family member, that friend who's maybe new to the Ramsey stuff. And this is a great wading into the waters with humor. It's conversational.
Easy to read.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Whether you're 25 or 55, it's like it's like money 101, 201, and 301.
Yep.
Stuff you never learned.
I love it, George. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
So fun. You
Thanks
work
for helping
so
spread the
hard.
word.
Yeah. I mean, so much time and effort goes into something like this. And so I know you're excited to get out into the world. It's a wonderful thing. So you guys, make sure to order at RamseySolutions.com/store.
We can put a link in the description as well.
Yes, we will do
Make
that.
it easy on you guys.
We'll do that. And you can check out George on all the socials at George Camel, his YouTube channel as well, and Smart Money Happy Hour that we host together.
Our
once a
personal
week.
favorite.
So make sure to check that out too. And remember, you guys, to take control of your money and create a life you love.